What's up, adventure travelers? Well, here's something you haven't seen for a while, a fully loaded motorbike. Here it is in all its glory, ready to be ridden. Well, it's 2.5 months since I got to Dubai. Wow. And who would have thought the ride would have taken a turn where I was off the bike for 2.5 months doing side trips to Egypt, South America, and burning a whole lot of time trying to get my laptop fixed, which was unsuccessful in the end, and I had to buy a new one, unfortunately. It's $3,000 up in flames, but it is what it is. So now we're back on the road after 2.5 months. I'm actually a little bit nervous to get back on the bike. There's a lot of weight on the back and it takes a while to get used to the balance. I've also managed to get my right ear blocked somehow, probably from stuffing earplugs in it every day for 9 months. So I can barely hear out of that ear, but hopefully we'll get that seen to in Oman. So let's hit the road. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to me getting back on the bike as well, rather than just swanning around the cities and beaches of South America. So let's get the bike started and get going. So here we are on the highways of Dubai. I hate to admit it, but it's actually a bit of a strange feeling being back on the bike all loaded up. A little bit of riding rust, for lack of a better term, but that's okay, just take it easy. It's only about an hour and a half to the border. We'll gas up, cross the border, and hopefully that won't take too long. And then we'll be in Oman for afternoon tea. Muscat, here we come. Woohoo! Alrighty, we're about halfway towards the border, and as you can see, got these beautiful big highways and no one on them. But that's okay. It's a little bit cold this morning. It's about 8:30, I think, 9 o'clock, and there's a bit of cloud, but it gets cold in the middle of the desert. So it's not too cold yet, but I guess December, January is the middle of winter in the Arabian Peninsula. So here we are on the big old empty highway. Look at that desert out there. Well, when you think of Dubai and the United Arab Emirates, you don't really think of mountains, but here we are. We're about half an hour out from the border, and it's warmed up a little bit, but as you can see, it's still pretty cloudy. You've got to hand it to the Emiratis. They've built some nice roads, and they've done a pretty good job, I must say. These mountains are quite cool. Oops, I'm being overtaken by a truck. Better up my game. And we are still in the mountains, but we are in Oman. Continuing through the mountains, and we're going to hit the coastline soon. And it's about a 3-hour ride down the coast, 2.5-3-hour ride down the coast. So let's just enjoy the last of the mountains, and then a coastal ride before we hit Muscat. Bring it on! Big old mosque there on the right. It's a bit obscured by the trees and the palms, but biggest one I've seen so far in Oman. They do love their mosques here. And here we are at the coast. Woo! Alright, doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on. There's a few big houses around. Let's just cruise down PCH. PCH is Pacific Coast Highway in California. No, it's not quite PCH, but it'll do for now. Just a change of scenery from riding on the motorway, the highway, the freeway, whatever you want to call it. Looks like there's some fishing huts. And here we are in the big smoke of Muscat. Didn't quite make it before sundown, but that's okay. It's been pretty smooth sailing all the way. City seems pretty nice and tidy and well laid out from the little bit that I've seen. Let's see what the hostel's like. Yeehaw! Alrighty, off into the back streets. Doesn't seem like too bad a neighbourhood so far. And here we are. Hostel on the right. Probably no signage. Excuse me, yes? Is that a hostel? Yes, this one here? Thank you. Okay. Let's pull up to the bumper, baby, and get into the hostel. This'll do for now. So unpacked and in the hostel. It's not the worst place I've been, but the mattress is pretty solid, and it's the first hostel I've been in where there are mattresses on the floor. First things first, not sure if I mentioned this morning, but I've managed to, I think I did mention it, almost completely block my ear by shoving earplugs in there. I'm pretty sure that's probably made it worse by poking around in there, but so I've got to get that suctioned and blocked, and everything else is secondary after that. So it's good night from me, it's good night from him. What's up, trendsetters, and Merry Christmas. Coming to you on Christmas Day from the Gulf of Oman. Unfortunately, when I got in last night, my chest infection got worse, so I've spent all morning basically at the audiologist, the hospital. I saw an ENT doctor there, and then I went to see a chest doctor, spent close to 400 New Zealand dollars. But the good news is I can hear again properly, and I've got some antibiotics for my chest. The bad news is I'm probably going to spend the next couple of days just recuperating and taking it easy and getting my strength back. But for now, here is a vista of the Gulf of Oman. Nothing but horizon over there. And down the end, I think that's the southern part of Muscat. Let's zoom in. Well, yeah, you can't see too much, but anywho. Doesn't look like the beach in Oman is a place for swimming, although there's a lot of four-wheel drive tracks, so probably see some four-wheel drives tearing up and down here at some point. Why am I at the beach? Well, I haven't eaten anything since a really bad pizza last night, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the supermarket's just up the road, so I thought, oh well, I'll go down and see the sea. Anyway, I'm going to lay low for a couple of days, and then hopefully I'll be well enough to have a look around. What's going on, adventure travellers? Well, it's been about a week since I filmed that little snippet on the beach, and I regret to inform, sounds very official, that I've been quite sick. My chest infection got really bad, and for a couple of days I was so sick I couldn't even really eat or even watch Netflix or anything. I was just laid out in bed. So I had to remove myself from that noisy hostel with the terrible beds, and I splashed out at the exorbitant price of $70 a night to this hotel room, which is lovely and quiet and has a half decent bed. So I'll show you around this hotel room. It's actually an apartment, so check it out. So there's the couch I was just sitting on. This is it's not salubrious, but it's better than a hostel. Here's my little workstation. You got a kitchen in there, got the loo, don't need to see too much in there. Nice big bedroom with a comfortable bed. So it's been very comfortable. I've been very lucky to stay here, but at $70 a night, I can't stay here for too long. Anywho, let's get out and about, see what we can see from the streets of Oman, and we'll go for a walk down the road to the Grand Mosque, which from the road looks quite impressive. Alrighty, we're here at the entranceway of the Grand Mosque, which is very impressive. The sun's quite low at the moment because it's still 9:45 in the morning. Then behind me you can see the entranceway and the flowers. It's all very nice. I'll flip the camera around. Not sure if you'll be able to see much because of the sun. But here's the front of the mosque. It's very impressive, very well made. Let's go inside and see what we can see. Oh, thank God for a bit of shade. It's the middle of winter here, it's December, and I can't see anybody ever travelling overland through the Middle East in summer by their own accord. You just wouldn't do it. Anyway, here's the outside. I'm not exactly sure where the entrance is. There's the tall turret or tower. Here are the gardens back to the road, the highway. Probably can't see them in too much detail, but they're very well manicured. The mosque is only open for 3 hours a morning, 4 days a week. So you got to get in quick. It's only 12 hours a whole week. I'm not quite sure where the entrance is. There's a side view. Alrighty, it seems we entered the mosque from the backside, and this is the entrance, and it is crammed full of people that aren't going anywhere. So don't know if our chances are that good of getting in today. Oh well, that's a bit of a shame. You can see the two towers in behind me. Don't get run over by the taxi. Would have been nice to go inside and have a look around. But we've seen plenty of mosques and temples so far on this trip. I guess we'll have to wait till the next one. Here's a good view of one of the towers. All the masses getting ready to queue. I'm outside one of the external doors, and it's a bit of a shame because it's pretty sparsely populated in there. They could let more people in, but they've decided not to. So anyway, enough about not getting into the mosque. Here's the view from the top of the steps. Have a bit of a panorama. There's the main highway over there, and the gardens in front. Some big building across the road. And that's all for now, folks. So that's just a glimpse of Muscat. It's a lot more of a low-key town than I thought it was going to be. There are some forts and bits and pieces down the road, but I've just spent the last week getting over the old chest infection. I mean, it is quite a nice tidy little town. You wouldn't realise there's 1.3 million people here, but I'll give you a bit of a street view. Got some fairly interesting buildings there, residential houses. Across the road you got your commercial buildings and so on. There's still a few vacant lots kicking around. But the good news is we're on the road tomorrow for a 2-day ride south to a place called Salalah, and I think it's going to be a pretty interesting ride. I checked the numbers yesterday and we're 53% of the way through the ride, so we are over the hump. If you'd like to know more about the ride from New Zealand to Ireland, you can go to twowheelstoeverywhere.com. If you weren't aware, I'm raising money for the intellectually disabled community of New Zealand. To find out more about them, you can go to ihc.org.nz. And if you're enjoying these travels, please consider dropping a bit in the tin for the IHC. That can be done through my Give a Little page. The link's on the screen and in the description below. So thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe and share it with anyone and everyone. Stay safe out there, keep traveling, and see you on the road.